The Europa League is back again, and in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions for the first leg in the playoff stage. In this round, all the teams that finished from 9th to 24th place will be facing up against each other to see who advances to the round of 16, where they'll be versing one of the top 8 teams or who will get eliminated. In today's video, I'm going to be predicting the scorelines for every single match in the first leg of the playoff round. And obviously, if you guys agree with my predictions, remember to leave a comment down below. But if you disagree with my predictions and you think there may be a few upsets here and there, remember to leave your predictions in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to reply to every single comment. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. Starting off with the first match, we have FC Midtjylland against Real Sociedad. Starting off with Real Sociedad, in my opinion, this season they have been very inconsistent, where in the La Liga, they currently sit in the bottom half of the table. And in the Europa League, yes, they haven't been doing that bad, and they did finish in 13th place. But against some of the better teams, they did not perform good at all. On the other hand, FCSB did not do as good in the league phase, but they still were pretty good, and the only games that they lost were against some of the better teams like Frankfurt, Porto, and FCSB. Obviously, this game is being played in Denmark, and with the home advantage, I think FC Midtjylland will be able to score a goal, but in my opinion, I'm going to predict Real Sociedad to win this game 2-1. Moving on to the next match, we have Fenerbahce against Anderlecht. Fenerbahce were this close to getting eliminated as they were tied on points with both Braga and also Elfsborg, and the only reason why they're still in this competition is because they had a better goal difference than both of these other teams. But in my opinion, it was still a fairly disappointing league phase for Jose Mourinho and Fenerbahce because they did not perform very good in majority of the games they played. Anderlecht, on the other hand, were far better as they did finish in 10th place, and if they would have won on the last match day against Hoffenheim, which they were very close to doing, then they would have finished in the top 8, completely skipping the playoff round. In my opinion, I think this game will be very close, and I do think that Anderlecht are the better team, and across both legs, in my opinion, they are the favorites to go through. But Fenerbahce at home under Jose Mourinho, I think they will win this game. I think it's going to be a very low scoring game. I'm predicting that Fenerbahce will score the first goal, and they will most likely be very defensive for the rest of the game. But for that reason, I'm going to predict Fenerbahce to win this game 1-0. Moving on to the next game, we have Ferencváros against Viktoria Pilsen. Both of these teams finished in 16th and 17th place in the league phase, but in my opinion, Viktoria Pilsen really shocked me. Obviously, I don't watch Viktoria Pilsen that often, and I remember in recent history when they were in the group of death in the Champions League just a couple years ago. So in this Europa League, I didn't really have that high expectations for Viktoria Pilsen. But they did come away with some very good results, having beaten Anderlecht, they beat Real Sociedad, and they also beat Dynamo Kiev, which are very impressive wins for them. On the other hand, Ferencváros have been very inconsistent this Europa League, where we did see them get a few very good results, like beating Dynamo Kiev 4-0 and beating Malmo 4-1. But they also got a few very disappointing results. For example, when they lost 5-0 against PAOK. Honestly, I think this game could definitely go either way, and for that reason, I'm going to predict a 2-2 draw. Moving on to the next match, we have Union Saint-Gilloise against Ajax. Ajax were another team that were very inconsistent in the league phase, where we saw them get a few good results, but they also got a few very poor results, like when they lost against both Lazio and Real Sociedad, and especially when they lost 1-0 against RFS. On the other hand, Union Saint-Gilloise finished in 21st place, and we could clearly see that they had a lot of trouble scoring goals, having only scored 8 goals from their 8 games. But they also only conceded 8 goals, meaning that on average they were scoring and conceding 1 goal for every game they played. For that reason, against Ajax with the home advantage, I do think they will be able to score 1 goal. But in my opinion, Ajax are definitely the better team. They have way more UEFA competition experience, and for that reason, I think they will win this game 3-1. Moving on to the next match, we have AZ Alkmaar against Galatasaray. AZ Alkmaar, in my opinion, have been having a very strange season because early on in the season, they were very bad, and they went a month and a half without winning a single game. But for the last few months, they have been much better, and they have been winning almost every single game they've played since the beginning of November. On the other hand, Galatasaray did just miss out on the top 8 spot as they did lose in the last match against Ajax 2-1. And for the whole league phase, I thought that Galatasaray were very, very good offensively as they scored 19 goals in the first 8 games, which is over 2 goals per game. But on the other hand, defensively, they were very, very poor in the league phase, and they conceded one of the highest amount of goals out of all the other teams, as they conceded 16 goals in the 8 games, which is an average of 2 goals conceded for every single game they played. In this match against AZ Alkmaar, obviously it is being played in the Netherlands, and with that home advantage and with Galatasaray's poor defensive record, I think AZ Alkmaar could score multiple goals. But in my opinion, I do think Galatasaray will win this game. I think it will be a crazy game, loads and loads of goals. I'm going to predict Galatasaray to win this game 4-2. Moving on to the next match, we have another highly anticipated match between FC Porto and Roma. It's fair to say that both of these teams have been pretty shit this season, and so far in the Europa League, they have both been playing far, far below expectation. Obviously, in the Liga Portugal, Porto are doing pretty good as they currently sit in 3rd place, when in the Serie A, Roma have not been performing that good, as currently they sit in 9th place. And we've seen how much Roma has been going through this season, where they've been struggling to find a consistent manager. They've already cycled through a few managers. Now finally they do have Ranieri, but even recently, they still haven't been performing that consistently. In my opinion, I honestly have no clue who's going to win that game. I've been predicting Porto to win most of their games in the league phase, and they've been disappointing me on multiple occasions, when Roma, on the other hand, have been having a similar story where they have also been very disappointing in some of their league games. So for that reason, even though Porto do have the home advantage, I'm going to predict a 1-1 draw. Moving on to the next match, we have FC Twente against Bodo Glimt. In my opinion, Bodo Glimt have been very good so far in this Europa League, and they were 1 position away from finishing in the top 8, as they did finish in 9th place. And when, on the other hand, FC Twente finished very low on the table in 23rd place, they were very close to being eliminated. In my opinion, Bodo Glimt have been performing pretty good so far in this Europa League, and we have seen them get a few good results, like their win against Braga, Besiktas, and also against Porto. When, on the other hand, FC Twente haven't been performing as good, and obviously we have seen a few good games from them. They obviously drew that game 1-1 against Manchester United. But in general, I think that Bodo Glimt have been much better. And even last season, we did see Bodo Glimt play pretty good in the Conference League, where they made it unexpectedly far. So I think that Bodo Glimt are really a team that has been starting to shock a lot of people in recent years. And I think in the future, they could become a pretty strong team in a Europa League competition. So for that reason, I think they are the favorites in this match. But obviously, FC Twente do have the home advantage, and for that reason, I think this game will end in a 1-1 draw. And finally, the last game we got is PAOK against FCSB. PAOK did not start off this Europa League well, as in the first few match days, they did not get good results. But in recent match days, they have been playing much better, which did secure their spot in the top 24, finishing in 22nd place. On the other hand, FCSB were very good in the league phase. They shocked me, and they shocked a lot of people as well, as they finished in 11th place. And to be honest, they could have probably finished in the top 8 if they would have beat Man United in that last match day. Now, we did already see this match earlier on in the league phase, as PAOK did come up against FCSB. PAOK had the home advantage, and FCSB still ended up winning 1-0. Now, obviously, PAOK in this match do have a lot of injuries. They have suffered a few injuries on their team, and for that reason, I think it gives FCSB even more of an advantage. I think that FCSB will be coming into this game with a lot of confidence, as they already beat PAOK, and for that reason, I think they will beat them again 2-1. And that is the end of my Europa League predictions for the first leg in the playoff round. If you guys agree with my predictions, remember to leave a comment down below. But if you disagree with my predictions and you think there might be a few upsets here and there, remember to leave your predictions in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to reply to every single comment. And obviously, if you guys did enjoy this video, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and stay tuned for more videos.